Hi, this is Mark Satterfield with APRO Tool and Equipment Company, distributors for Allvis Computerized Electronic Measuring Systems. I'd like to introduce you today to the benefits and operation of the Allvis Connect system, which is 3D, measures length, width, cross, and height. We also have our Allvis Light system, which has less components. It's a 2D system, but a very useful system as well. So I'd like to introduce you to what the components are and what each one does. It's pretty very simple. We've got the measuring arm, which is the base of the system. We've got height rods, which these are nothing but to get you around obstacles if you had to go around a transfer case, an actual A-frame, whatever, to get you to your measuring point. We've got measuring cones, 3 different sizes. The computer will show you which one to use. We've got cups if you're measuring to a bolt, where you can get a dead-on accurate length measurement. These are your datum or height rod. So if your computer says your height on one point is 180, that's where you would set it, and we'll show you in just a moment how you would get to that point. We've got 3 magnets. This attaches to the vehicle magnetically, so we've got the small cone pointer. We've got one for the side of the rail if you're measuring trucks, and we've got a larger cone in case you've got a hole that this won't center up on. You've got the same components on the Allvis Light up to a certain point, but it does not have the truck measuring. It does not have as many of the height measuring rods or the clearance rods for that system. Just a light version. Both are very useful, but we'll show you how to operate both of these in just a moment. This system has the capability to diagnose damage in less than a minute, from measuring from any point to any point. There's no computer involved, there's no measurements involved. All you're doing is checking for square, and it takes literally a minute to do this. So attach your magnet to your measuring point, any point. It doesn't have to be from the chart. Measure to the point that you want to check. Push your start button one time. Go to the opposite side. Measure the same point. Push your save button. Move your magnet to the symmetrical point across. Measure your length or your cross first. Hit your save to release. Shows you you're a couple of mils off on this side, and go to measure your length, and it shows you're 2 mils off, so you're well within spec for a pickup truck. But that quickly you can diagnose if in fact there is frame damage. This is what your work order will look like when you open the Allvis program. You'll need to turn on your Allvis measuring arm and connect your Bluetooth. To do that, you go to on, push your circle there, which takes you to blue, and push save. In about 45 seconds or so, this will disappear. That means that your measuring arm is connected Bluetooth to your computer program. Now we're hooked up. You would go first step. This is all in steps. You go to new order. We're going to call this training. Watch it show. go to new car. We're looking for a GMC. GMC USA. We're looking for a Sierra 1500. And we are looking for a long bed, regular cab, 2018, which would be right here. Sierra 1500 regular cab, long bed, two-wheel drive pickup. So we confirm that. When you go back to your work order, it will populate your vehicle information down here. At this point, you would go to before repair, go to measure. Now these are the points that the factory gives you to measure from. So you can select any point on here from the bottom, or you can measure from the side of the rail, either one. So we are going to select point number 28. Shows you a picture of it. It'll show you a cab mount, a seam in the rail, something to help you identify the point that you have selected. At this point, you go to proceed. If your engine was out, it would give you a different requirement for datum height. So our engine is in. These are your 3 magnetic attachments. So this would be your most popular. This occasionally, this B would be to measure off the side of the rail on each truck, anything full frame. So we're going to select A and confirm. These are your height rods. All they do is get you around obstacles. If you can't get around a lift or transfer case, A-frame, you just go to a longer rod. If you select the wrong one, very easy to change. So we're going to select C, and we're going to confirm. Now this system will actually measure datum height. So to measure datum height, you have to calibrate to the rear and measure to the front, or vice versa. Very simple. You just select your measuring point. We'll select point number 38. Shows you a picture of it. That's way at the back. And go to proceed. It's going to tell you that from 28 to 38 is going to be 2528 mils and a datum height of 504. So that's way up there. So what we do is, at this point, is set up our measuring arm. To set up our measuring arm, we have selected the C rod. So we insert that. It's got a check valve that pops it into place. Attach your measuring, your attachment magnet. Just snaps into place as well. Now our height on this is 504. So we have to have a measuring arm that has at least 504 on there. And we would insert this. Make sure that you never force this. There's a nylon pin there, can be pushed out and lost very easily. So you go down to 500, 03, 04, 05, and one back. So we're set at 504. It shows that we use our large cone. We'll attach that. Now we are ready to measure. We're looking for 2528 and 504 on height. So we would attach our magnet to our zero or starting point. Extend the measuring arm back to the point that we're looking at. We've got the length is perfect on this. At this point, we want to turn the level around and adjust that until it's in the center. Once your level is to the middle, you turn this back around, and now you are ready to measure to the front. So you would calibrate to the rear, measure to the front, and vice versa. So now we are ready to take our first measurement. We have calibrated for unlevelness of the vehicle. We need to to set up our arm to measure point number 4. We're going from our 0 point to point number 4. We go to proceed. It tells us that we are 2142 on our length, 2335 on cross, and 351 on our height. So we select a rod that has at least 351. Insert. That's 350, 351. Lock it in place. We're using C rods and a magnet. Plus the computer shows us to use the large pointer. You don't use this one very often, but it does come in handy. Okay, we're going to be measuring from the 0 point to point number 4. You don't have to remember these numbers. It's always good to remember the first number so you can make sure that you're in the right point. There's 3 reasons this thing will measure wrong. One is you started from the wrong point, you measured to the wrong point, or there is even a possibility that you could have the wrong chart. So let's see how we stand on this one. Okay, we have our measuring arm set up. We've got our C rod. We've got our height rod set at 351. And we're going to measure from point 28 to point 4. Should be 2142 on your length. So let's look and see what we have. We're attached to our 0 point. Extend out to our measuring point. So we're showing 2141, which is 1 off. At this point, we would push save. And if you'll notice on the computer, it has conveyed your measured value from the measuring arm to the computer. At this point, we go over to measure our cross on the same point. Push save. It conveys the number to your computer. Move your magnet to the opposite side. Measure cross first. Push save, conveys your number, and go to your length on the opposite side here. Now, while you're here, you won't get a true reading on height on a lift, but on the rack when you're set up on your clamps, you will. This shows you that you're not showing a correct datum height, but that tells me right there that you're less than 2 mils off. So if this was in fact on your frame machine, what you do is break this loose, move it until the bubble gets to the center, and read the number, and it will tell you exactly how much off you are for your height. After you've taken all of your measurements, you've got them in the computer there. It shows you we're 1, 1, and 3 off, which is not bad on a truck, especially on a lift, because you've got a lot of sag and other things to deal with. At this point, you go to print, save report, verify your save. Now, under import, you'll find your saved report, which shows you what you've measured, what your numbers should be, what you did measure. If you had more than one measuring point, you could scroll through these with these arrows. You can also, if you'll notice on this import, you've got a B on here that's for before repair. When you do your after repair, you'll have an A on there for after repair. Pretty simple to understand that. Now at this point, you go back and you set up to do your after repair measurement. So we will go out to exit.
Over there in the corner.
If for some reason you've measured a point that you either measured the wrong point or something went wrong that you have the number is not correct on and you need to change it, you just highlight the field that you want to eliminate, press the circle and hold that in, and you'll watch if you watch the computer, the incorrect number will disappear. Then you can remeasure. When you are ready to do your repair and save your after repair measurements, you would go to Save Measurement After Repair, verify that, and go back and do the very same procedure that you just did until you get to the correct factory values that it shows that it should be. You can also monitor your pull by leaving your arm hooked up, leave the head out of harm's way, make your pull, and check your progress until you get to the number that the factory gives you, and at that point you can push save and convey that to your after repair chart. Now we have reset our measuring arm to mechanical mode. To convert this from 900 from this point to this point, we are going to convert it for short measuring, where it would be 400 mils from this point to this point. To do so, you screw in this adapter into the short measuring holder. You hold your on button in for a couple of seconds, and it converts that to 400 mils from here to here. So at this point, you are ready to measure your underhood, your upper body, your doors, whatever you need to measure. You measure it as a electronic tram. We do have a program where you can record these, but we won't go into that on this video. We can work with you live on either the internet or on site to show you how to do that. But you've got all the numbers you'll need to make your repair for this vehicle. Our database with the Allvis Connect system is the U.S. European, so you've got comprehensive coverage for just about everything on the road. You've got 7,305 vehicles in this database available. And just as a recap, this system is very practical, very simple. You open the program, you select your vehicle, you fill in your customer information, you go to your before measure, select your height rod, select your datum rod, select your magnet that you're going to attach with, do your measurements. It takes you through step by step. You will have to calibrate for unlevelness of the vehicle, and then after you've measured, saved your measured values, you would save those to your computer. You can throw them into a folder. You can send them email. You can print them out. Whatever you need. But that repair will be in your computer until you take it out. It's not going anywhere unless you manually delete that. Your upper body, very simple. Just go to your 400 millimeter short measuring feature on the measuring arm. Measure underbody. Underhood. Measure your doors. Measure your windows, hatch, deck lids, whatever is necessary. But you've got all the numbers in here to make your repair. So this is a complete 3D measuring system with print capability, and it will save and email your reports. The Allvis Connect and Allvis Measuring System line is manufactured in Sweden by J&E Safe Repair Equipment. They have a website you can go to and take a look at their products if you'd like, or you can contact us for more information.